You believe your mind is the problem. The constant chatter, the anxiety, the thoughts that won't stop spinning. You think if you could just quiet your mind, control it, manage it better, then you'd finally find peace. But I'm here to tell you something that might shock you. There is no mind to quiet. The mind itself is an illusion. Think about it. Right now, you're aware of thoughts appearing. Worry about tomorrow. Regret about yesterday. Stories about who you are and who you should be. But who is aware of these thoughts? Who is watching them come and go? You say my mind, but who is the I that possesses this mind? This is the beginning of self-inquiry. Not a technique to fix the mind, not a practice to make the mind better. Self-inquiry reveals that the mind you're trying to silence doesn't actually exist. When a thought appears, any thought, it doesn't matter which one, ask yourself, to whom does this thought come? The answer is always to me. Then ask the deeper question, who am I? Not the conceptual answer. Not the story, but the direct investigation. Who is this I that thoughts appear to? Most people never ask this question. They spend their entire lives believing they are their thoughts, that the voice in their head is them, that the anxiety is them, that the constant mental commentary defines who they are. But you are not your thoughts. You are that which is aware of thoughts. Here's what happens when you truly investigate. You try to find this I that the thoughts come to. You look for it directly, not with more thinking. Thinking cannot find the thinker. You look with awareness itself, and when you look, what do you find? Nothing, no solid I, no entity. No mind, just awareness. Just consciousness, just presence. The mind is like a movie playing on a screen. You've been so identified with the movie, the plot, the drama, the characters, that you forgot you are the screen. The screen is never disturbed by what appears on it. A horror movie doesn't scare the screen. A sad movie doesn't make the screen cry. The screen remains unchanged, always. You are the screen, pure awareness. Pure consciousness, the self. But you've believed the thoughts that say, I am this body, I am this person, I have this problem. These thoughts create the illusion of a separate individual, a me, with a mind that needs fixing. And then more thoughts appear offering solutions. Try this meditation technique. Read this book, go to this teacher. The mind pretending to solve the mind. The illusion trying to fix the illusion. When you practice self-inquiry consistently, something begins to happen. The thoughts lose their power, not because you're fighting them or suppressing them, but because you're no longer giving them reality. You see them as they are, temporary appearances in consciousness. They come, they go. Like clouds passing through the sky. The sky doesn't try to push the clouds away. The sky simply is. As you inquire, who am I? Again and again, tracing every thought back to its source, the mind becomes quiet on its own, not through force. Not through control, through understanding. Through seeing the truth, and in that quietness, something extraordinary reveals itself. You were never disturbed in the first place. The real you, consciousness itself, has always been at peace, always been silent, always been free. The disturbance was only ever in the mind, and the mind was only ever a thought. A convincing thought, a persistent thought, but still just a thought. Think about deep sleep. Every night you go to sleep and the mind disappears completely. No thoughts. No worries, no me, and yet you are still there, aren't you? Consciousness doesn't disappear. In the morning you wake up and say, I slept well, or I slept poorly. But who was there to know the sleep? Not the mind was gone, you were there. The self was there, pure awareness was there. This is what you are. Not the waking state mind or the dream state mind, but that which is present in all three states, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. That unchanging awareness that is your true nature. The mind tells you that you need to become enlightened, that you need to achieve peace, that you need to reach some future state where you'll finally be free. But this is the mind's final trick. You are already free. You are already the self. You are already that pure consciousness you've been seeking. The only thing that seems to separate you from this realization is the belief in the mind. The belief that thoughts are real. The belief that I am this person with these problems. And self-inquiry dissolves this belief. Not by replacing it with a better belief, but by revealing it was never true to begin with. When you ask, who am I? And you find no answer, no entity, no mind, that's not failure, that's success. That's the revelation you cannot find what doesn't exist. And in not finding the separate self, you discover what you truly are. Infinite consciousness, the self. Oh, whatever word you want to use, it doesn't matter. Words can't capture it anyway. As this understanding deepens, the world itself begins to change. Not because the world is changing, but because your perception is clarifying. The world you see is a projection of mind. When the mind is seen through, when it's recognized as illusory, the world loses its solid reality too. It becomes transparent. It becomes what it always was, a play of consciousness, a dream within the self. This doesn't mean the world disappears entirely or that you stop functioning. You still appear to move through the world, appear to have a body, appear to interact. But there's no one doing it. There's no separate person anymore. Just consciousness expressing itself, just the self appearing as all of this. People ask me, how long does self-inquiry take? When will I be enlightened? But these questions come from the mind that wants a timeline, a process, a goal to achieve. The truth is, you are already that you've always been that. There's nothing to achieve because there's no one to achieve it. There's only the recognition of what already is. So whenever a thought appears, whenever anxiety arises, whenever the mind seems to be your enemy, pause, don't fight it. Don't try to silence it, simply ask, to whom does this come? It comes to me, then ask, who am I? Look directly. Investigate, and in that investigation the mind will dissolve. The problem will dissolve, the entire illusion will dissolve. What remains is silence, not the silence that's the opposite of noise. The silence that's the source of everything. The silence that you are. And in that silence, you'll find what you've been seeking all along. Peace, freedom, your true self. There is no mind. There never was. There is only consciousness, appearing to play the role of mind, appearing to create problems, appearing to seek solutions. When you see this clearly, the game is over. Not because you won, but because you realized you were never playing. You are free, you always have been. The mind was just a story, and now the story is ending. Be still, inquire, and know yourself.